In 2005, Rupert Murdoch's News Corporation paid $580 million for a social network called MySpace. At the time, it seemed like a bargain. MySpace had just surpassed Google and page views in the United States. 25 million active users, exponential growth, more visited than Yahoo, Amazon, and eBay. It was the most accessed site in the country. 6 years later, in 2011, it was sold for $35 million, a loss of $545 million. This isn't a story about bad luck or a market that changed. It's the story of how you can be absolutely right about what your users want and still destroy everything. To understand what happened, you need to go back to 2003. Tom Anderson and Chris Duolf were employees at a digital marketing company called Yelp. They saw Friendster explode in popularity and decided to make something similar. They launched MySpace in August 2003. The big breakthrough wasn't technology. It was timing and execution. While Friendster crashed under growth and limited functionalities, MySpace let people do whatever they wanted. Customizable HTML, music on profiles, personalized layouts. It seemed chaotic. And it was. But people loved it. In 2005, when News Corp bought it, MySpace had something no other social network had. Real scale. 25 million users. 1 million new registrations per week. And Chris Duolf, who became CEO after the acquisition, had a clear vision for the future. Duolf looked at usage data and saw a pattern. People weren't just adding friends and sending messages. They were listening to music, watching videos, playing games. Independent bands used MySpace as a launch platform. Arctic Monkeys, Lily Allen, Calvin Harris, all exploded first on MySpace. The platform had organically become a hub for cultural discovery. So Duolf did what any rational executive would do. He decided to make this the official strategy. 2008. MySpace Music launches in partnership with the 4 major record labels: Universal, Sony, Warner, and EMI. Free streaming of millions of songs. 2 years before Spotify arrived in the United States, the logic was perfect. Facebook was for college students exchanging messages. MySpace would be the MTV of the internet. The discovery of what's cool. And in the first months, it worked. MySpace Music had 20 million unique users in the first month, more than Last, FM and Pandora combined. Duolf wasn't improvising. He was following the data. He was giving people exactly what they demonstrated they wanted. But while Duolf executed this strategy, something was changing. 2006. Facebook opens to the general public. Anyone with email can register. 2007. Facebook launches the news feed, an algorithm that shows updates from your friends in order of relevance, not chronological. It seems like a technical detail. It's not. It's a fundamental philosophical change about what a social network is. MySpace was optimizing for session time, how long you stay on the site, consuming content. Facebook was optimizing for return frequency, how many times per day you come back to check updates. And there's a brutal difference between these two metrics. When you optimize for session time, you add features, videos, games, music. You want the person to stay there, consuming. When you optimize for frequency, you remove distractions. You want the person to enter, see the updates, feel the dopamine, and leave, but come back in an hour. MySpace was becoming an entertainment portal loaded with features. Facebook was becoming a habit. And here's the problem. MySpace's data confirmed the strategy was right. Average session time increasing. Page views increasing. Advertising revenue growing. But there was one number that was falling. Visits per user per week. In 2008, the average MySpace user visited the site about once a week. On Facebook, it was multiple daily visits. And that metric is everything. Because social networks don't make money from how much you consume. They make money from how often you return. Advertisers don't want users who spend 40 minutes per session once a week. They want users who enter multiple times a day, even if for just a few minutes. Frequency sells more than duration. Duolf was winning the wrong battle. June 2008. For the first time, Facebook surpasses MySpace in unique visitors in the United States. News Corporation panics. Layoffs begin. In June 2009, 30% of the team is cut. 420 people. Chris Doolf leaves the company in April 2009, and the decline accelerates. In June 2011, News Corp sells MySpace for $35 million. Total loss, $545 million. Not from lack of users, not from lack of revenue, from optimizing the wrong metric. So why did someone intelligent make this absurd decision? Because Chris Doolf was measuring success the wrong way. He looked at the time people spent on the site and saw growth. He looked at page views and saw engagement. He looked at advertising revenue and saw validation. Every number told him he was right. The problem is, he was optimizing for what people did, not for what kept them trapped. Entertainment you can find anywhere. Your friends are only in one place. Doolf built a better product for passing time. Zuckerberg built a product impossible to abandon. The decision wasn't absurd, it was perfectly logical. And that's exactly why it destroyed everything. Business bad calls. Where being right is not enough. If you want to see more billion-dollar mistakes dissected, subscribe to the channel. Because the pattern always repeats, only the names change.